I always love this bread card. The shininess of the bread always gets me like super duper pretty. Oh, a cafe. We have beautiful little baked goods over here. Super duper cute. Look how pretty this is. Everything is just so lit up. But they have the little unicorn on the milk. How cute, with a little Lucky Charm, heart-shaped donuts. Everything is so pretty. Hey y'all, so today we're going to be checking out Dutch Pavilion. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Shy in Second Life, and on this channel we check out aesthetically pleasing places in the virtual world of Second Life, and I also sporadically do lifestyle vlogs. So if you're interested in content like this, go ahead and subscribe. So y'all, when you first come to the land, they have these little like street signs, and they are teleporters. Now I did teleport to a couple locations just to see like if it was actually a teleporter, and it was. So we'll check out some of the places or some of the spaces. I didn't look around, I just wanted to actually see if it would take me someplace, and it did. So this is a smaller land that is sharing a land with other, what do we call them, other lands, you know, for lack of a better word or lack of a better term. So this is not a full sim, this is just a smaller parcel, and this full sim has like lots of different pieces of land on it that where other people dwell. And I really do like how they decorated this space. Now they did they did get an edge, which makes a difference, so that it does kind of make you a little bit more secluded from everybody else. But I do like that they didn't really go out of their way to kind of make it seem like they're on the land by themselves. If you pan out, you very easily can see that the land is occupied by other people, which is absolutely fine. We don't come across a lot of lands like that in Second Life, so it is nice to see lands like that, because a lot of the places that we will visit in Second Life, it does kind of make it feel like everybody has like their own sim. And for the most part, a lot of people who decorate on these lands or who create lands for people to explore and tour around, they do have the whole sim. But it is also nice to see how people will decorate spaces or landscape spaces where they don't have the whole sim, they just have like a part of it, or a parcel, if you will. So I'm really interested to see like everything that they have going on, and I really want to be able to just kind of extensively look at some of the teleported areas that we get to see. Now I am in the shared environment. Now I'm not gonna lie, I went through quite a bit of lighting before I decided just to go back to the shared environment, because you know, when it seems a little bit dark for me, I just feel like when this lands, look how pretty this is. Okay, Bunny, now why would you do that? When there are lands that I feel like have more of like a colorful aspect to them, I always want you guys to be able to see like all of the colors. We can actually walk up on this. I really be wanting y'all to see like all of the colors, as opposed to like seeing the land where the colors are, in my opinion, are not as vibrant. However, what I am learning is with these shared environments, they decorate the lands to fit the shared environment. Look at this little donkey. Y'all, if y'all hear my son in the background, honey, it is it's Saturday, baby, and I'm gonna say he let his hair down, but listen, he be chilling with his friends on the game, so I'm not about to say me like, no, we're not doing that. I'm gonna let him enjoy himself. Won't be loud for long, you know what I'm saying? So I'm noticing that the decorations that they have on these lands, it suits the lighting. So I went through all of that just to go back to the original lighting. I want to see what's over here before we actually look at what's on this other side. I went through all of the different lighting settings just to end up back with the shared environment. And I said, you know what, we're going to look at the land the way that it was meant to be looked at. Now, I don't know if this lighting is like this all the time. When I came here and I initially got this landmark, I don't remember it looking like this. I do remember the colors being a little bit more brighter, a little bit more vibrant. So if I am correct, then that would mean that this land is it a beach over here? I feel like if we don't look at the beach now, I'm probably gonna forget to go back and look over here. It does give me the vibe that this land might be going with like Second Life lighting, which is fine. But it just lets you know that depending on the time that you come to view this land, there's going to be a different type of lighting. Now with the Firestone viewer as well as Black Dragon, but I use Firestorm mostly, you do get the option of changing your lighting to a lot of different things so that you can kind of enjoy the space in the way that you would like for it to be, if you are just like not keen on the lighting that is originally on the land. So I do like that you do have those options, but I do just like to look at the land the way that whatever the shared environment is for the most part, because it gives you just like a better understanding of it being just like, okay, well, this is what I wanted the space to look like. Oh, so they do have a way to get over to the beach. I didn't know, because we ain't over in that space yet. I do feel like sometimes when I come across lands where they don't really have like a clear-cut way to get to some of these spaces, it's just like you got to walk over these rocks to get here. I will tend to kind of forget to go and look at those spaces. I didn't want to do that this time. I just didn't want to do that. So you see this rock over here. I'll show you guys in a second. Hold up, because I do want to look at these chairs. We saw these chairs on, what land were we on? I forgot the name of the land. I'll probably put it up on the screen, maybe not, but they didn't have these draping on these chairs, and I was like, those chairs look super duper uncomfortable. But they have it there, and so they look really nice and comfy. So this rock wall right here on the other side of this is a whole different land that belongs to somebody else. So I do like how they landscape the space so that you do feel like you're on a larger piece of land, and it's not like a clear indication that this land is being shared with somebody else. Because you know what, even though we don't mind touring a land that's shared by other people, we also don't want to be taken out of the cohesiveness of the landscaping by noticing that it is being shared by somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So I do like how they landscape around it, and I do think that getting the edge really helped, because you don't have to landscape like a bunch of different spaces because you're on an edge. So you can just kind of like let the water be part of the landscape. And I do like that. I like that they have this really nice minimal picnic table. We love a good space that's filled with like foods and all of that. But I also like when they incorporate like more simpler spaces where it's just like a little table with a little bit of decorations. I love the little bunny. So again, this is another land that has different aspects of like springtime, summer transition. So these markers, they don't have a teleport option. They just kind of direct you into the way that you need to go to kind of guide you around this land. Oh, hold up, let me get around here. So like I was telling you in one of the other videos, I don't know which videos, I'm both recording today, y'all. I'm both recording today. Sis has been behind. We ain't gonna get too much into that, but sis been behind. So I said, baby, no, we need to go ahead and both record. So this is something that you can click on to get like some dance poses and things like that, I'm pretty sure. So I think that's really, really cute. This has a very nice romantic vibe to it, and I do like that. A lot of the lands are now transitioning into summer, so they're going from like spring to summertime vibes, and I really do like that. Oh, the little puppy. Oh, look how cute he is, the little puppy. So I really do like that. I love that. That we get to see like the lands just nicely transition over to just like full-fledged summer type vibes. I'm not sure as to how they're gonna do summer this year. Sometimes they'll go like full-fledged tropical. Everything is just like tropical. It has a very nice hot steamy type vibe, and then sometimes they'll have like nice spaces like this where it does have a really nice springtime vibe, but it'll still have like some summer accents to it, where it's just kind of like you can see this land being someplace that you could visit in the summertime as well as the springtime. And so I really do like that. They have a really good way of the creators and landscapers in Second Life have a really awesome way of just very nicely and subtly transitioning the lands to different seasons. And I really think that is a skill that a lot of people do not respect enough, because it's not the easiest thing to do. It might seem like it's the easy thing to do, but I don't think that it's the easiest thing to do, because it's very easy to go into the wrong direction when you are going from spring to summer. Now, a lot of times you can go with like flowers and things like that are just like summer and springtime flowers. I always love this bread card. The shininess of the bread always gets me like super duper pretty. But when you are dealing with summer stuff, people will tend to kind of want to go into like the space of very like tropical, and then we get into like palm trees and things like that. And so it goes away from more of like the local, I guess, if you will. I'm at a loss for words right now, and it kind of goes into like more of like a tropical Hawaii type vibes, as opposed to maybe like just a place where it's like normally hot year round, like I don't know, Texas or Florida or someplace like that, or Las Vegas or something like that. It'll go into like the full-fledged tropical realm. And so I feel like it's very easy to put yourself in that space. Like, you really have to be mindful of the foliage that you're using and things like that when you want to transition to from spring to summer. And so it's not as difficult as some may think to kind of veer off into a space where it's like, yeah, you know what, now it's looking tropical. It's looking real tropical. I love these little accent pieces. I love this whole entire table. So you see how they have like the little picnic table in the corner that only had like the flowers on it. It was very minimal. And then they have this setting here that's really, really nice, filled up with lots of nice yummy treats, nice little meringue pie. I love this. I also love that everything is like, you know, it's supposed to be outside. You know, these are the things that you can see outside, and it's not like, why would you guys have this now? We have come across lands that were not like that. Lands that actually did have like a lot of what do they have? Like a lot of things that would be outside on the tables, where it's just like, why I got this outside? You know, it's cute, it's colorful, it's pretty to be outside, but like this is not something that you would normally have outside. But like this, you could have this outside. Very, very beautiful, very colorful and pretty. And see, this is one of the things. So like when I came here, I didn't know if they were going to have food and things like that. And so I didn't want the food to show up in like a different hue than what it was meant to show up as or meant to be. And so I was just like, I don't know. When I went, let me back up some. When I went and looked at the different colors and stuff like that, the different shared environments that they had, I just kind of felt like when I came back to this space, I felt like the shared environment on this land, I'm like, this is really going to be the best one for us. Is it a little bit darker than what I would like? Yes. However, it's not so dark where you can't see anything. You actually can see every single thing. And the darkness actually does bring out more of the color of the item. So you can see like the toastiness of the croissants and things like that. So it really, really helped bring the richness of like a lot of the browns and things like that out on the land and out in the foods and things like that. So you can really appreciate that. You know, you can really appreciate that. One thing that I do like about these smaller lands is really because you really can just like see all of the different things that they implemented on the land. And it just is one of those things where it's like, oh, I didn't think that this was going to be something that we really were going to be able to venture around and see a lot of. Look at this cat playing with his tail. But then once you walk around the land, it's like, it's so much to see. It's so much to see. And so it's like, okay, well, you know what? It's small, but it packs a punch. And we learned that a little while back that these smaller lands really do pack a punch. And that was part of the reason why I started to view these lands. I think it was one land that we saw. I know it was one land that we saw that I considered to be like a smaller land for us to tour around. And then when we toured around, it just was so much on like that smaller piece of land. Oh, a cafe. Oh yes. So it was so much to tour on like that smaller land that I can't walk. Okay, don't do that. Don't ever do that. And I was just like, OMG, like look how much there was here to actually see. Like I didn't think that it was actually going to be as much to see as it actually was. And so I'm like I was super duper excited about that. And then after that, it really just kind of put me in a whole different mind space when it came to like these smaller lands. I really get excited to view these smaller lands. Look at the little kitty cats. I really get excited to view these smaller lands because I'm like, what do you have in store for us? Like, what do you have? So like even with this land, like initially I thought that this land was just this space, but then when I saw that they have the little street signs that are actually, look at this beautiful cafe. They have the little street signs that are actually TPs. So like it takes you beyond this space. I thought that was a really nice accented, well, it was a really nice addition to the land, where it's like, if you like this, then we still have a little bit more for you to go around and just like look at. And I really do like that. So they really minimize the space with just like taking you from this space and then placing you in other areas on this same land that I'm assuming they got to be in the sky, because we're on the ground. So the other spaces that are actually in the sky, I really do like that. I like how they implemented that. This is like a little ice cream station. How cute is this? With all of the cute little toppings, and they have the little cones. It's like make your own little ice cream treat. So this is cute. I love when they use this build for like a little cafe. We've seen this build before, and they also had it as a cafe, but everybody always does their cafes differently, and I really do like that. Sometimes they like to make the cafes a little bit more like social, and then sometimes they'll make them like very like cozy, almost have like a romantic type vibe to them, and I really do like that. So like I love these little croissant sandwiches. I believe this is from Dust Bunny, and then they have like the little chips and all of these little treats and stuff like that. And so it's like, you know, in Second Life you'll see a lot of things that are just like in real life would it be like this? No. But then that's the beauty of Second Life. It's like you get to do things that you wouldn't normally do in real life in Second Life. You get to see things that you wouldn't normally see in Second Life in real life in Second Life. And so I do love the beauty of it, and the ability for them to kind of be different and kind of do a lot of decor bending, if you will, when it comes to different spaces and places, and just like how they would envision them to be like in Second Life. It's like, okay, this is the premise of this land, but we're going to do a little twist because it's Second Life, and we're going to make it a little bit different than what you might be used to seeing in real life. It's like, we're taking it and we're going to add like a Second Life flair to it, and I really do like that. We've seen this cake cabinet before many times as well. I kind of feel like people will tend to kind of switch these cakes out in here, and I do like that, which is why I always like to take a little, you know, a little bit of a little look, you know, we want to have a little looky-loo just to see what they got going on. Yeah, I know how I feel about food in Second Life. It's one of my favorite creations that I feel like they make in Second Life, because when it is food, I feel like they do add a nice little flair to it. Food and plants, now they do put in extra effort for everything that they do, but when it comes to food and plants, I do feel like they add that little bit more they just add a little bit more to their meshing, because it's like the plants always like have a really nice pop of color. They'll have like lots of little details on it where it kind of looks like it has a little moisture on it and things like that. Like it'll be like really, really nice. I love these little cabinets. When it comes to the food, they always kind of make sure that like the pastries and things like that, like if it's a glaze where it makes it really looks like the glaze is like wet, or it's like really like drippy and just really decadent. And I love that about the food in Second Life. Like they really go out their way to like make it seem as realistic as possible, and I really do like that. I've never come across an espresso machine that I didn't love in Second Life. I love all the little trinkets. It gives me like the vibe of like DJ equipment, how they have all of these little like bits and bobs and just different knobs and things like that for you to kind of like play around with. I really do like how they have that when they have like espresso machines in Second Life. They always have just like lots of intricate details to it. I love the intricate details. I really think like that's really what it is. I love the little tea can. Look how pretty this is with the little details, with the fine tea, ginger lemon. Everything is just like so pretty. They just never really miss the mark for me. I really feel like they're always just really, really on cue with everything that they need to be on cue with when it comes to a lot of the decorations. Now, are things going to be perfect? No, I don't think that they're meant to be perfect. I think that things are meant to be perfectly imperfect. I feel like that is just life. Now, in Second Life, can things be perfect? Yes. But things are only as perfect as their creators, and the creators are human and they are not perfect, because nobody is perfect, you know what I'm saying? But they come very, very close with their creations, in my opinion, and I really do love that. I love how they have this being like a little book nook over the kitchen, and just like lots of different books about food and stuff like that, little cookbooks and stuff like that. I really think that this is super cute. This is a really nice cozy cafe that definitely gives like kitchen type vibes, almost kind of like a like a house that they turned into like a cafe, because it has a very like cozy, romantic, welcoming type feel to it. But it also doesn't have to be romantic. It can also just be a little social spot, but just something very intimate. That's the word that I'm looking for, something very intimate, and I do like that. These little shiny shells on the onions, and then they have beautiful little baked goods over here, super duper cute. We love this, right? We love this. Love a good decorated cookie. And then they have the little skate vase, which I think is so adorable. And then the little cat. It's just like everything is so visually pleasing, and I really, really love that. This is such a cute little cafe. I also love that they have like the little accents on the walls, like light switches. You know, a lot of times people may not pay attention to stuff like this, but I pay attention to things like this. So before we do go to like the different spaces that they have with the little teleporter, I do want to check and make sure that we've seen everything here already. So this is like a cute little procrastination workshop, and I say things are postponed. So this is super cute. It gives me like a tailoring type vibe with the fabric on the wall and things like this. Very like a really nice, like cozy little space. I like how, although the space seems very just like meadowy, they also have like a more modern vibe to it, little modern aspects with the laptop and things like that, because this kind of like feels like a space where there ain't no telephones and things like that, but then they have like something where it's just like a little computer or a laptop that just kind of let you know, like, okay, you know, it has a little bit of a modern vibe to it, although we're keeping it like very, very simple. It's not bogged down with all of the new age like electronics and things like that of the world. It's just something very simple, just like almost like this is a place where you would go to, like if you were a writer, this is like a place where you would go to just kind of like get away from all of the things of the world and just kind of have a much more like simple space to kind of dwell in and kind of let your mind roam free. I really like how they have the laptop on the table, but then they have like this wood burning fireplace where it's just it mixes in the modern with some more like historical type vibes, and I do like that more like dated elements. I really do like that. So now we are at one of the teleport options, and this looks super cute. So this is like a little house. I'll let you guys figure out which teleport option this is when you guys get here. I love the nature sounds here. It's so bright here. I really, really do love that. I love when the skyboxes have windows, because it does give you the opportunity to still have some of that light. I feel like that's one of the things that kind of keeps me away from having skyboxes as often, even though I do have skyboxes for quite a bit, but it's because I do like to see the sky. I love the sky in Second Life, and when you have skyboxes, sometimes everything will be enclosed and they won't really have like windows and stuff like that for you to really be able to look out of and really enjoy. This is one of my favorite little coffee machines in Second Life. This is from Fancy Decor. So pretty. So I love how they have a really nice minimalistic vibe in here. This skybox is giving like Scarlet Creative vibes. I don't know who's made this skybox, but it's very, very nice. So everything is like very simple here. I'm just clicking on stuff. I'm like, does it open? I don't know. I have my interface hidden, so sometimes you can't open it, but they'll like you have to like they'll give you like options, and I don't see the options, you know, because I have my interface in, and it's okay. So I really like this. This is super cute. It's something very simple, but it's just like another beautiful space that you can enjoy and explore on this land. I really do like that they added this space. This is a really nice space for like pictures and stuff like that. I do feel like when you come to these lands, I feel like pictures are always going to be something that a lot of people who come and visit these lands are going to think about. One thing that I do notice is a lot of times when I'm on these lands, I don't see a lot of people like walking around. I know that they do, but when I see them, they're already just like in picture taking mode. And I love that, because it just further cements the idea that these are wonderful spaces to come and explore, but also to take like beautiful pictures and to be able to really just like enjoy and experience the land in so many different ways. Like you really have the option to just explore these lands the way that you want to, and to take in all of the beauty that they have in the ways that you want to take the beauty of the lands in, where it's like, I want to come and take a picture, or I want to come and chill, or I want to have a date, or I want to roam around, or I want to get on a ride, or I want to sit in a boat. You have lots and lots of different options, and I do love that they give you those options on this land as well as many others. So this is yet another beautiful space that you can teleport to on this land. Super duper pretty. This has really nice like fairy tale type vibes, and you know, we love a good fairy tale type vibe. Love a good fairy tale type vibe. So I really love this thing. I'm loving all of like the beautiful greenery and stuff like that. You know, it just really is getting me excited for the summertime, because they show up and show out for every single season. I love these deers with the antlers, and they have like the little lights on them and stuff like that, almost like the deers got caught up in like a beautiful magical light show. I really do love that. I love all the like little butterflies and things like that that they have going on. So you see how this is like another like smaller space, but they packed it with a lot of nice things where it makes you just really want to take your time to just like look around and look at everything. They have the cute little fairy. Oh, so pretty. So it's so beautiful here. I love it. Now this space does have a really like springy type vibe, and so I really do like that. But again, it does have a nice like transitioning into like summer type feel. I bet you this land, I know this space is gorgeous at midnight. Let's see. I knew it. Look how pretty this is. Everything is just so lit up. All of the lights, oh, so beautiful at midnight. Very romantic. So I love how they have this really cute like little picnic sitting space. It's super duper cute. All of the food, once again, is very appropriate for the table. We did see some of these goodies on the table that was on the main level that was by the cafe. So I really do like that they brought some of the things up to this space as well, to kind of just still have that feel, be a little bit cohesive, where it's just like things are still tying together. Although you're in a different space, you teleported to a different space, but it still has that cohesiveness of the main area. I really do like that. I love this. I love all the colors. I love how everything is just like mostly green, mostly greenery, mostly foliage and things like that. But they'll have like the really nice sparkles, and then they'll have like the flowers with like, and then the seat cushions and the pillows and things like that have really pretty pops of color, so that you don't kind of feel like it's just like a big green space. You know, they have lots of different elements to it where you can just like enjoy different colors. I love this. So this is like a really little cute little cozy little cafe space. So they had a cafe on the main area, but then this is just like another like super duper intimate one. So like the one on the main level had a very like homey intimate type vibe, but this has a really nice like romantic intimate type vibe, almost like it's like if you went on a date and you wanted to just be like, okay, well, you know, I want to take you someplace and I'm gonna make you a nice espresso, and then I'll make you like some muffins. We'll do like some baked goods. We'll bake together and things like that. Like I really do like the vibe of this. Really intricate espresso machine. How cool looking is this? All the different knobs and buttons and things like that. I really do like this. All the little sparklers are just so pretty, and then they have really light finger food snacks for this little cafe space, and I really do love it. They have the little unicorn on the milk. How cute, with a little Lucky Charm heart-shaped donuts. Everything is so pretty. It has a really nice romantic feel here. Just really getting you prepared for the summertime. Just nice summertime vibes. It's just like, be ready to be outside and enjoying all the goodies that they have to offer. I'm really excited to see how Second Life is just really about to just go up and just show out for the summer, and we're gonna get to explore it all.